Hey Renzo, Daphne here. How are you? Thank you for sending in your next essays for correction. Well done working so hard through the course. It's really good to keep a good pace of sending the essays in. Then you just don't forget. You keep on going. And great work on your corrections too. Well done. So this next essay is on spending tickets on sporting events. Uh, do you think this is positive or negative? And then all this just says the same thing, doesn't it? So it's like three questions which all basically say the same thing. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether the growing tendency of um, individuals to allocate so on sporting and cultural events. Oh, hang on a minute. Okay, so whether is the same as if. Okay, so if you're going to put like whether or if, the growing tendency, blah, 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 is a good thing or a bad thing. You need to have something else to the end of that sentence. You can't stop there. Now, or your other option, have debated, and then you leave this out totally. So your other option is to forget that. I'm just going to kind of put it in a, here you go, pink. You could forget that. So then you could have experts have debated the growing tendency. Yes. Okay. For me, on your sentence, I would forget that. So if you remember that whether is like if. So you have to kind of have a question and you haven't got a question in there. The events. Not in the past. I go over the past. Okay? Over the past few years. Over the last few years. Yes, now this is lovely. I love expenditure, but it's a noun. So you can't have expenditure is not a word. It is not a verb, I mean, sorry. Tendency of individuals to allocate expenditure. So this would be the correct collocation, the words that naturally sit together. You allocate expenditure, and that's very super high level. Well done, write it down. In my opinion, the tendency could, you can't rise a consequence. You could lead to, sorry, could lead to lead to or result in several negative consequences over time. I wouldn't necessarily say that. You can, but you've already had in the past few years. This essay will discuss both views using examples. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well done. That's good intro. Lovely. On the one hand, there's ample evidence that I don't think you need there are now. Okay, either you can have there are more people nowadays who attend concerts, football, or other events. Well done for telling me who they are. Or you could have that as more people nowadays attend concerts. Yeah, you don't. So if you left out that, you don't need that. Does that make sense? Sorry, I'm being complicated. That. Okay, let's go with yours. There are more people nowadays who attend concerts, football, or other events, and so you do need to connect this. As a result, these events are increasingly becoming attractive and lucrative. Now, lucrative to who? Attractive to the people and lucrative to the, like, not lucrative to me. I want to buy a ticket. Lucrative to the organisers. So you could have it more attractive and lucrative for the planners or organisers. It's an amazing word, lucrative, but you need to show you know the context in which this word is used, and you need to link it to these are the guys who make the money. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, there are plenty of events available on the market that each of them suits the needs of the people. Yeah. Why don't you have there are plenty of okay. Exciting. Let's get some adjectives in here. Exciting and varied events on the market to suit all tastes. Okay, so this is a little bit shorter and quite clean. I'm concerned your essay is quite long, so that could go. I'm concerned about how long it is because can you do this in 40 minutes? Question number one. And question number two, if you go too long, the danger is the examiner may not mark it. Okay, they probably will, but they might not. So just be a bit cautious on that, okay? Secondly, young families in Australia are more likely to attend social events twice a week rather than taking their children to the park. Okay, social paying events. I mean, social events could be going to see my friends, so I don't have to pay for that. You need to get the point that it is money on tickets. Okay, that is the most important thing. Paying events, yeah. For example, recent research suggested that 45% of households' income goes to good. Rather than goes to, you could have is or contributes towards the purchase of online tickets for sporting events. For event, just don't. For just all right. I just don't want to repeat theirs. Just go sport events such as soccer in Australia. It should be acknowledged that this parental behaviour can cause detrimental side effects on their children's development. Why? Because the children are being ignored. You need to tell me that. If you see, I don't think you need to have that. If you have it, you're going to need to tell me why, because that you can't leave that sentence there without explaining it. Therefore, it's conclusively clear that young parents should build boundaries to teach resilience to their children. Oh, careful, careful, careful. It's clear that parents are prioritizing their own entertainment over their children. Yeah, that will be clear, but it's not clear that parents should build boundaries and teach resilience. That is, for me, not at all connected to this or this. Okay, but you could say that they should they're not prioritizing their spending. You could say something about that. On the other hand, there's a case to be made in favour of reducing the expense on social, in order to create, rather than will, in order to create a more positive development on society. This is due to the fact that individuals should consider allocating. Be careful on should allocate. Just say they should consider this a little bit more subtle, allocating their earnings and time effectively to produce activities such as to productive activities such as giving their children quality time. I don't really like give, but I think you have to use it, or participate in. So this should be ing and ing. An educational course to meet their personal achievements. To enhance rather than meet. Yeah, you can meet a goal, you can't meet an achievement. It should be taken into account that right. This is too much writing. Yeah, you're going to have to cut some of this. An extensive study, so cut that. Okay, you can keep that. An extensive study showed that if young families constantly support children's education extra activities, such as take them to, just such as swimming courses, yeah, children would be more likely to build strength and confidence at school. And very good conditional sentence. Well done. Oh, it doesn't like that. Sorry, I got that wrong. There we go. If young families support, children would be more likely. Now, strictly speaking, on the conditional, you should have past tense there. So second conditional, if plus past tense, and then would be, okay? So you could have a mixed conditional, so you could have they support and would be, but just to be really technically correct, I would do it with past tense because then that shows the examiner you are absolutely right on this conditional, okay? Very good. Well done for using it. Consistent with this line of thinking, expenditure on sports and social events should be carried, IED, because it's passive, out with responsibility and precautions. Consequently, it's possible to say beyond doubt. I would get rid of that because you've already got this consistent with this line of thinking. And then I go in that individual, so connect it nicely. In that individuals should gradually reduce their expenditure on social events, put more attention on education and personal achievements. Good, I like that. I like where you're going in the argument. Really, really good. To conclude from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that although sports and cultural events are becoming more appealing, expenditure on them, so that's, you don't need S, should be taken responsibility. And now you've had precaution a lot. Okay, don't use it too often. Responsibility and care. Yeah? Or you always careful thought, something like that. Okay, don't when you've got an amazing word, don't repeat it. Yeah, just put it once, lovely, fantastic. There are other valuable activities. Yeah, I don't think you need that. Okay, because you've said that very clearly here. In the future, this trend will continue to grow in importance. Yes, okay, good. Really good. Very nice. Good essay there. Wow. Excellent arguments. Nice, very nice language, and I like how you're showing me some really good grammar as well. A bonus for that. Well done. Line graph, crazy line graph. Okay. The line graph shows the amount of rainfall in 3 different countries in 2018. Yep. Overall, there's considerable fluctuation in rainfall over the period given. However, on average, just in commas there, England experienced more than the other two. Excellent. Good. Perfect intro. At the beginning of the year, Wales had almost 50 mil of rain in January, while the amount of rain in England and Scotland ranged past tense. That is past simple from that to that. Yeah, by the end of the first quarter, in Scotland, the amount of rain. Now, you can't tend to increase, be careful, because if you tend to do something, that suggests that you know the trend, and you don't know the trend because you don't know what happened before or after. So you can't use that. That is a dynamic verb suggesting like motion, that you know the other years and you don't. So you'd have seen in Scotland the amount of rainfall increased sharply. Yeah. Just past simple. Increased sharply to reach a peak at approximately 140. In contrast, so you could use one of these lovely words here, while or whereas, comma, in contrast. These are super important, super useful for all these kind of descriptive charts. At the beginning of the second quarter, the amount of rainfall in Wales and England showed a significant decrease. Yes, fantastic. Really, really strong. Well done. By July, the amount of rainfall exceeded, past simple, watch out for that, 100 in these 3 British countries. Wales being, turn that round. I love what you're doing. Just turn it round. Wales being. You can't be rainfall. You'd have to have receiving. The largest amount of rainfall. Okay. Wales receiving the largest amount. No, go with Wales. Okay. With Wales receiving the largest amount. Okay. Between August and October, Wales witnessed the same amount of rain. The same as when? So you need to say consistent rather than the same amount, because if you say the same amount, I'm waiting for the comparison. I misunderstood that. Sort of consistent quantities of rainfall, while good, remain relatively high. You need to have the level in remain relatively high. We had Rachel again. Relatively high. You could have reaching or peaking or growing to a max of 130 and 140 respectively. Okay. By December, Wales received yes, that's not have received again. So change it round, say rainfall in December, but this is your subject. Rainfall in December in Wales was about 52 in comparison to. Yeah, so change the subjects around. Don't always have the country as the subject. You could put the rainfall as the subject as well. Mix it up. Okay, that's a very, very good answer. Just on the layout, you need to have it like this, and you need to have a break here somewhere. Okay, 4 clear paragraphs is what we're looking for. Really good task, though. I like that, and you are very well connecting the ideas here. So this is great. Well done. You're not just giving me a boring list. Good work, Renzo. Thank you.